Hi everyone, it's Patti here, and thank you for tuning in with us again. It is our goal to provide you the best information that is available that can actually help you eliminate a Candida infection and start your healing process and actually return to your optimal health. So thank you so much for tuning in. Today I want to talk about Candida symptoms, and I want to talk about it in a little bit of a different way than just rattling off symptoms, because this is actually a really important piece of understanding Candida and how it works, why it affects different people so differently, and that understanding will help you understand when you might actually be experiencing Candida and not even realizing you're experiencing it, and then how to actually fight it. Really understanding what your body is telling you with these symptoms. So first of all, it's important to understand that our body is a tube with two main openings, right? We have our mouth, we eat food, and then we have our opening that we eliminate waste. We also have our sexual organs and sometimes other tight spaces, crevices, where Candida likes to live. Now, Candida naturally lives as a yeast form along that tube, all through our digestive system, in our mouth, in our throat, down our stomach, down to our bowels, and where we release. So very often, some of the earliest symptoms that we experience with Candida overgrowth is digestive problems, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, constipation, stomach aches, bloating, those types of things. Now, what happens in that situation is that we start to develop a condition called leaky gut syndrome, and it's almost impossible to really know that you have that besides these symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. But then what happens is that as the Candida escapes into your bloodstream, as proteins and food particles escape into your bloodstream, you might notice autoimmune issues, allergies, poor immune function, or inflammation, chronic inflammation. When the Candida gets out into your bloodstream, it can go anywhere at this point, and so then you start having the localized symptoms: pain in your joints, arthritis, migraines, sometimes infections that kind of come out of your skin in different places, like abscesses or acne, or whiteheads, hard lumps underneath the skin. And some people actually have to have those surgically removed, or sometimes you might notice your skin will start to push it out. So these are all symptoms of Candida. But again, the most important thing to realize here is that Candida affects your immune function when it gets into your bloodstream. And so wherever you might be genetically predisposed to certain issues like MS, Hashimoto's, endometriosis, fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's, autism, all of these things that doctors and scientists are actually starting to find a correlation with Candida infection. Wherever you have these weak links, once you have reached that state of autoimmune dysfunction because of the Candida that's in your system, you're going to start seeing these symptoms that can start being lumped into these groupings that have a name. And that's where it can become kind of dangerous, because now you're just trying to treat a group of symptoms and actually not the root cause. So this is a really important piece of the puzzle, and I encourage you to Google and actually find out all of the different symptoms that are associated with Candida. But honestly, if you want to ask me, I believe that pretty much most of our preventable diseases out there are on some level connected to Candida and our diet. And if you can kind of reach that level of understanding, and if you're willing to commit to letting go and purging and detoxing and letting go of some of these habits, foods, etc., then you can be well on your way to getting better. Now, I told my story. You can see the video, our very first video here, of how I went from being very, very sick to the healthiest that I have ever been now in my life, in my 30s. And I spent most of my life really sick and with really bad allergies. And after I did the Candida cleanser and started healing my gut, all of my allergies have disappeared. So allergies are symptoms of Candida. There's so many things that are now being found to be related to chronic fungal infection. So I hope that answers some of your questions about symptoms, and I'll also list more symptoms in the description below, as well as some resources for you. I highly recommend you watch our webinar if you have not already. It'll be in the link below. And please subscribe to our channel. Again, we're going to be uploading a new video every week that is meant to create a whole well of information that is designed to help you get your health back. So thank you so much for listening and watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.